Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. This is a follow-up on the video that I did on tariffs. I'm very surprised because from reading the comments, it looks like about 50 or 60% of the people actually listened to what I said in the video. I put very, very detailed timestamps that go over exactly where I discuss every single point that I knew somebody was going to bring up. I would say half of the people actually listen. Which again, it is YouTube, so that did surprise me. And today I wanted to read a post from the Letters to Lewis channel in my Discord that went over one story that just kind of punched me in the gut. In your video, you mentioned the little guy. Well, I work on an open source hardware project. I've spent the past year and change making it more economical to get it machine assembled to reduce the price because a large majority of the cost of just buying one from someone was that it required so much hand assembly. I figured out the pricing, found suppliers, etc., and started taking pre-orders so I could get a decent quantity discount on the pricing in an attempt to hit my target selling price. As the pre-orders came in, I purchased the important parts that frequently went out of stock, so that once I had enough, I could just put in the production order without having to wait for components. I just finished validating the design at the start of this month, which, as you know, is right when the tariffs hit. I would now have to lose, over $50 per order to fulfill them, and I can't refund people because they spent the money on the components already. Here are the actual numbers on the cost of the PCB assembly service, and most of the components on those boards pre and post tariff. Pre-tariff total, $7,391.12. Post-tariff total, $18,762.94. Those prices are not all-inclusive. Some stuff I have here already, others are from another supplier, but that's the bulk of the cost. To make it worse, the quantity and order volume I used to price things assumed that I used the entire margin plus my own money to actually place the order, as I was banking on the idea that once I had stock, more people would buy it than when there was a pre-order. I was asked by a few, why don't you just get it made in the USA then? The answer to this is actually pretty simple. While most other businesses, news outlets, content creators have made guesses about this, about how much it would cost to build, say, a phone or a computer in the USA, I don't work with cutting-edge technology. My product uses an 8-bit microcontroller, and quite a few of my components are even made in the USA, and most, by cost of them, don't come from China. They come from Malaysia, Singapore, etc. This means that I don't have to theorize or try to guess how much it would cost to do at least more of it in the United States. I can literally check because there are factories already in the United States that do this kind of work. In fact, I checked on this before the tariff situation ever happened, as I thought it would be cool to have it made in the USA. To get a run of PCBs for this project, no assembly, no components, just the PCBs, it would cost $20,770 plus shipping. That is $20,000 US just for the PCBs. I'd still need to buy the components and have the PCBs assembled, which, remember, I just said the assembled boards with components from China were under $19,000 with the tariffs. That means I would need to charge people more than the cost of getting a new mid-tier gaming computer for something with an 8-bit microcontroller. Who would buy that? No one. That's who. It was already a tough sale at $230. I'm trying to get the price down to $150 or less, and now with the tariffs, I'd have to sell it for $390, assuming I get hit with the relatively more favorable 145% tariff. If I instead have to pay the 175% tariff, I would need to charge $430. Nobody would buy that. I'm just a maker. I don't do this for a living. I give the designs for most of my stuff away for free to anyone who wants them. The money I made off of this would be to use to buy equipment to cover the cost of prototyping new boards, projects, revisions, etc., and for components and such. However, someday this could have turned into much more, but now it seems like I just have to stop and give up. I feel really bad for the people who ordered from me, because now I can't deliver the thing I promised them, and I can't refund them with money I don't have. The only thing I can do is ask for their patience and hope the tariffs go away. While they seem to be understanding for now, I'm not sure how long that will last. Also, me saying people won't pay isn't a guess. I raised the prices on my site as soon as the tariffs were announced, and I haven't had a single order since, not even for the stuff I have in stock. Now, the first few things I want to go over. In the comments of the video that I did, there were people saying, I'd pay more, and one of the things that I said in my video is, no you won't. I have enough experience with customers when I'm selling them something that costs $200 to $300 and I listen to the haggling and the back and forth I have with them to know that they are not going to purchase an inferior product for $1,700. And this gentleman, who did not raise his price by 500% or 600%, but raised his price by 100 or 200%, is noticing that he has zero sales. Now, there is the elephant in the room that I have to mention as somebody who does consumer advocacy. You can't bill people for stuff that you don't have yet and expect it to go well. You shouldn't do that. And if you're going to bill people for stuff you don't have yet, you have to have the money aside to refund them in case things go wrong. Not having the money aside to refund people, if you're not able to provide them with the stuff that you don't have, is not Trump's fault. It's not Congress's fault. It's on you. Because again, the people are going to bring that up, and that's a 100% fair criticism. You can't do business like that. At the same time, when people are asking, why don't you have this done in America? Why don't you have it made in America? he is making it very clear why he will not, because if he does, you will not buy it. 0 people have purchased this product. And in the video that I did, where, again, like 50% of the people went and actually listened to the points that I had in it, one of the things that many people were saying is, this is just because you're buying stuff from China. Why don't you're complaining because you're doing that. I'm a repair person. So we don't have to think about the chicken versus the egg here as a repair person, because it's very obvious. The customer came first. You had to buy something in order for me to exist to fix it. So why do you think I'm buying parts from China? Because you bought something you want me to fix from China. Now, if you are using a cell phone that's manufactured in America, your computer is manufactured in America, your camera and your monitor and everything that you are asking me to fix is manufactured in America, I got nothing to say there. But if you are using something that was manufactured in this other country, and you're asking me to fix something that was manufactured in that other country, and then you try to pull that, well, you're just complaining because you could have made it in America. That was the most shit tier comment that I noticed, not just on my video, but on several of Andy's videos as well, where they're like, well, you should have just got the part in America. I am buying parts from China to fix things that you bought that were made in China. If you bought something that was made in North Carolina, perhaps I'd be buying my parts from North Carolina. If you bought a smartphone that was made in Austin, Texas, I would buy parts from Austin, Texas. If you bought an audio interface that was made in Brookfield, Wisconsin, I'd be buying parts from Brookfield, Wisconsin. But that's not what you bought. You bought stuff that's made in China, which is why Andy and myself and everybody else buy parts for that device made in China from China. So I thought I'd read you an email from one of my suppliers about this. Regarding this piece, our margin will be less than 12% at $250 each with current tariffs. You can sell it at $330 to $350. Your sale number may slightly drop at beginning. However, it will go back and grow because end user will buy it where else and learn that product quality is not great. They don't want to pay $700 to $900 for Metcal, Hacko, Weller, JBC. When you look at that language, that's not the language of somebody who is talking about the tariffs being high and lowering the price after the tariff is over. That's the language of somebody that realizes that their product is worth more than they were ever selling it for, that realizes that every other brand is way more expensive for less quality, that is going to keep that price there from now until the end of time. So I've raised my price accordingly. I have to pay to get that item shipped to me. I have to pay to get that item shipped to you. I have to pay all the import and every other cost. When the tariff goes back down, the price of this product that I'm purchasing is not going to go back down, because all these vendors are waking up to the fact of what this gentleman said over here, that they were offering the entire thing for $7,400, and in America, you would have to pay $20,000 just for the PCB. So even when you have a 140 or 170% tariff, it is still cheaper, faster, more efficient, and better quality to have it done somewhere else. And again, comes back to what I said in the last video that 50% of you listened to. If there was some sort of plan here where they said, okay, you know what? You want to get this stuff done in America? Here is the loan program we're going to provide you with. Here is the support we're going to provide you with so that this thing that hasn't been done really well for 30 or 40 years can get jump-started. We have a plan. If there was anything besides simply a tariff, you'd have a plan. When you have a tariff with nothing else there, that's not a plan. And it's kind of like one of the comments that I got that was also crazy. It was, well, at least he's doing something. Let's say that you have a device that's at the Apple Store, right? And let's say that it's there for data recovery, and it's just sitting on a shelf because Apple doesn't do data recovery. Now, there are 3 possible things you could do. You could take it out of the Apple Store and bring it to me, and I get your data back. That's a positive change. You can keep it at the Apple Store. It stays on a shelf. They don't touch it. It's staying the same. Or you can take it to BlackBerry the cat, and BlackBerry the cat will take your device, she'll push it off the table, it will get dropped, and then the platters of your open hard drive will shatter to bits and pieces that will never have the data recovered. You see, just doing something, if you're making things better, that's good. If you're doing something and you're making things worse with no plan, that's bad. If I take your stuff and I drop it off of a table, that is considerably worse than if it sat on a shelf at the Genius Bar doing nothing. You can actually do worse than going to the Apple Store Genius Bar. It is possible, in spite of what I've said on this channel over and over again. There are worse options. You can always make something worse. That's for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. My price is going up, and it's not coming back down. And that price gets passed on to all of you. because it sure as shit is not getting passed on a BlackBerry. Stupid short mic cord. Come over here, you dangerous little kitty. Omni microphone. Yeah, fuck up that microphone. Hi. Hi. Ow. Good girl. Good girl. Where's my good kitty? Where's my dangerous kitty? You're my dangerous kitty. That's why I have to have a little red danger sticker all over my house now. Yes, a little danger sticker. My little... My rich kitty. Who is my rich kitty? You're so rich you have a house with a broken ass railing that when you lean on, you almost fall off your freaking balcony. Yeah, it's either... Ow! Why you headbutt me that hard, huh? Like, ow! Why can't you be gentle? Why you always gotta hit the cartilage in the nose? Okay, see, that's much better. It's a good kitty. Good girl. Alright, see you in the next one.